How's it going, fans from across the internet? This is Michael here at 3D Print Everything, and today I've got a special video that should be really good for anyone who's interested in doing 3D printing as a business. I'm going to give away. I'm going to show you a couple things that I found out recently that should help me out. I'm going to talk about things I've done wrong. So I'm not even sure the title of this yet, but you'll know it before I will in this very moment. But it's going to be something related to the lines of, you know, what I've done wrong, things I could do better, tips you need to look out for. So this is the genre of the video if the title didn't capture it perfectly. Quick update, it's Texas here, it's hot as hell, and this printer produces a lot of heat. If you were looking at it and wondering why it looks all half-assed and covered in cardboard, because I just duct taped some cardboard to it, and it was so dang hot in here printing PETG at a 75C bed that big, it just, all the glue just delaminates and it comes off. I even got a clamp up there to hold that one up. But it's keeping a little bit of the heat in. It's 70 right now, about 8 a.m. I just added this guy in here. We're literally getting some power issues with pulling too much from the amount of circuits that we have here. When I start these videos, I never know. I just have like an idea of what I'm going to talk about, but I don't have like a set of bullet points. I don't have a list. I just start railing. So I apologize if it seems like I'm bouncing around or I'm not focused on a particular topic. It's just because it's what's coming to my mind and I feel it's important and I want to share it. So, let's see if you can see this silly wide screen. What I have been doing wrong up till now is order tracking. So we'll start there. Order tracking for 3D printing I found can be difficult because, at least for in the service side, it's not a big deal if you're doing an Etsy store and you just get an order and now you need to fill out a piece. So if your plan is to do retail, your plan is to print things or to have things online and then print to order, that's a lot easier. You've got a bank of prints, you've printed them before, you know that they work good, you potentially have a saved G-code file ready for it. All that's a bit more streamlined. So it's just like you wake up one morning and you say, hey, I see that I've got 10 more orders in this. You fill the orders, they end up moving through your queue. But what do you do when you get people coming in and saying, I need something printed? How do you track those? So far, I've been using Thrive here, and Thrive is useful, and you may have seen this in a past video, but this isn't everything. It's just a beginning to it. So Thrive is a CRM software. CRM stands for Customer Relations Management. So this is intended to kind of manage, and I'll be showing some back-end information, so I don't think anything here will be damaged, but and see, like when you see something like this, overdue payments, some of this is overdue, some of it is just the job hasn't finished yet, or the job was abandoned and never went through. So we sent an invoice and then for whatever reason they didn't continue through and pay. So number one thing I recommend, always get payment up front. When I first started this business, people would say, hey, can you print this for me? I'd print it for them, I'd tell them it was ready, and some people would show up to get it and most people wouldn't. Literally the majority of the people who ordered things from me would not come and pick it up. So literally in 2 to 3 months, only having 2 to 3 printers, I had 2 boxes full of customer stuff that I wish they had picked up that they never did. So I learned the lesson real quick to charge 100% up front, at the very minimum 50%. Like, you've got to cover your costs. The other basic thing is a simple way of doing charging prints is $7 a print hour. That's the current rate I'm at. You need to be at a minimum of 3. I started to see profit at 3, but when it's like, okay, you want an employee and you want a shop and you want these other things, you got to start raising it, and people are willing to pay that. People don't have a problem paying $7 a print hour. You might think some prints come out too expensive, and that's just the case. It might not be worth printing some things at $7 a print hour. Maybe you discount a couple just to help someone out. But yeah, back to this order tracking. So I have these. So on my website here, so Thrive manages my website. So if you're not a website person and you wanted someone to do your website, Thrive does a good job. I told them what I wanted and they did it all for me. So I get a little bit of analytics on it. They optimize it for the 3 different things here, but I just wanted to show you. So on my website here, people can click order now, and then they submit one of these here, and then that's how I'm getting this. So that's where all of these contacts have come from. It's either me sending an invoice and, you know, they paid it, or they uploaded from the website. I was just looking for, there it is. They uploaded something from the website, put their information here, and then it goes there. So that's okay, but everything I have here is just in a list. So every time someone done it, the only tracking is by date, so I can just kind of keep going down and looking at things. But, you know, just at a glance, I have no idea which one of these are done. You know, I can see that someone paid invoices here, but I don't know which ones are currently active, which ones are not, which ones, you know, stuff like that. So I wanted something like that. Now, an order tracking software is something like this Trello here. So I've got a project management board that I kind of started. That's the wrong one. Let's see. So I had, you know, I've started a couple different things, and to kind of show, you know, this, I did, you know, printer order repairs, quote waiting for response, book projects to do, to scan, to model, models completed, in-house 3 printing queue. So you can, you know, change any of these anytime you want. You can move jobs from one to the other. My issue is this wasn't automated in any way. So every time I got something here, I had to copy the information over to here. And that's a lot of typing and clicking and stuff like that. And I was kind of frustrated with this. So, and go figure, a solution was found over 1.5 years ago, or made at least for this application, and potentially even longer ago, and I just didn't know till now. So I really like Trello. I love this intuitiveness of this. When you click on one of these, you know, you get information. I can comment, I can tag other people working in here, so I could have my 3D modeler in here, I could have my employee in here, and I think, because I was looking, add to card, I'm not sure if I can add clients to see their card. That was something I wanted to see if it was possible, was if I could get someone, like if I could just show a client, like, here's your card, see where it is, see it's in the in-house print queue, so when I, you know, move it over here, now they can see it's in today print queue. Yeah, you know, so they could see that if they wanted to check on it. So that's kind of cool. That's a feature that I want to have in here. So I found another software that does this, but I'm not going to use it, but I want to show it to you. So just understand, you could use it. I'm not actively using it. I'm not promoting it. But it's called Maker OS. So I had found Maker OS. I didn't actually find it. They found me. So Maker OS is kind of this all-in-one 3D print software. So this might be interesting for some of you. But what this is essentially, and how this got started was an autoquoter. They made a decent autoquoter, and you could implement it on your website, so they didn't make a website for you. And then you would have a back end where you could see the stuff and whatnot. So this is allowing you to have like an online client portal, so that if someone uploads something through an autoquoter, if you send them an invoice, they can log in and see a client side, which is kind of cool. And they've got some integrations there. But what I started liking about it, so I heard about this years ago, and I didn't find it worth it. I didn't like the autoquoter because I thought it came too high. Let's see, 3D print everything. Sorry, I'm going to log in here so you can see the back end of it. Okay, cool. So we're in the back end. So this I just set up. This is, they show you like a revenue, a data capacity. So they charge you based on data, and that would be related to people uploading stuff through the autoquoter. So if you have the autoquoter enabled on your website, someone uploads a 50 meg file, that takes 50 megs away from your package of data, because this is going into their cloud storage, or it's all getting processed on their servers. So that's how they're going to pay for the electricity and equipment of the servers, as well as processing fees, because this is a payment processor. So they're using Stripe as their payment processor. But what I liked about this the most, and made me almost want to use it, is this project queue. So let me see here. How do I... Was it just this one? No, there's a projects board. Hold on. It's not obviously as... Oh, here it is. So you click on this little board over here, and it gives you a board view. So this looks very similar to Trello now, in that you can customize these. You can do as many as you want. You can drag them from one to the other. And when you click on it, this is where you can put descriptions. You can have your files related to it. Where is it? Like, you can, click on things, project completed, not completed, and you can invoice people right from here. So this is what I liked, is you could invoice right from this. I could make them up an invoice, write out $10 or whatever, do their card, and literally submit payment right there after submitting the invoice. So this is intuitive enough that it's cool. Now, one advantage of this is their free version. They give you 30 gigs. So you can potentially use this right now in its current form free, and as long as you monthly don't go over 30 gigs of uploading files, you're good. So you can keep all your files on your own computer. You can slice them, price them, and then shoot an invoice through this with Stripe, and you can then invoice people and track your orders through this. So that's why that seems quite compelling. I like that. That's not too bad. You don't ever have to use the autoquoter if you don't want to try optimizing that, or you're afraid it might overprice things. I personally found when I first implemented the autoquoter, I lost 90% of my business. Now, that's not the case for everyone, and there's many successful businesses that deal with an autoquoter, but I think an autoquoter is going to be needed when I have about 3 times the amount of business I currently have. So I can just barely handle what I have now by not organizing it properly. I believe if I organize it properly, I could probably handle about twice as much easily. Maybe not easily, but that would be about the max I'd want to do. And then anything more than that, the autoquoter would help, because I could take the quoting side out of it and save some time. So this is neat. I like it. You don't have to pay to use it up to 30 gigs. So if you still wanted to upload files in here so that a file was attached to a thing, you could keep those files on their cloud storage and get that up there. But it's neat. They have an online viewer and everything. It's definitely useful. I like it. Good job, Maker OS. If you're curious how much it costs, I think for 300 gigs, they want like $200 a month, and you get a couple other features than what the free thing has. 200 a month is a lot to somebody who's, barely making 500 to 1,000 in revenue, and profits would be less than that. So, you want to choose your softwares carefully, but definitely take advantage of this if you want. So here's the final thing that I think will be cool as far as project management goes. So I had done just a quick Google, so we'll do a Google search here. Trello to Thrive. And this can potentially work for a lot of other software. So if you're using something similar or different, or you want to use, 2 softwares together that you don't know. I didn't realize Zapier was this weird thing that communicates between softwares. So I can choose right here, if a new appointment is made in Thrive, it'll attach to a card. Or, if I create a new board, it does something in Thrive. So I can kind of choose when this happens, automatically do this. So that's super, super neat in that, when a new invoice, so when I trigger an invoice in Thrive, I could create a card. And this is probably exactly what I want to do. So now I won't have to go from Thrive over to Trello to then, hand input the information. Their information will already be put in there. They'll have, let me go back to that. They'll have, the invoice. I'll know that it's a paid job. It'll automatically go into a paid, list. I saw there was one in here. It said when invoice paid. Let me see. Card updated, new appointment. There's, more down here. So, new appointment, new invoice, busy time, create conversation, find client. Because everything I'd probably start on Thrive and then do this. Yeah, so look, new payment. When a new payment is created, that can trigger moving to a list. So I think if I have this right, when a new invoice is made, it'll create a card. When that invoice gets paid, it'll then move that card to a paid list. That alone would save me an hour a day of just moving things around, especially if I'm doing a lot. And if I'm, personally busy doing this, this will automate things. So if you're a one-man show, if you're a two-man show, I think this will be awesome. Now you can also do this with other things. So look, I integrated this with my Gmail. So over here in Gmail, I can go to Trello, and if you open a thing, I can now add a card from my Gmail. So let's say, I want to track some jobs that are pre-invoiced, but I still want to know, I've got a week or two's worth of work or research, or they're a hot lead and they said to contact them later. This is where I could easily create a card real quick, put it in a specific list, and keep track of it in Trello without having to go back and forth through Trello and whatnot. So that should be pretty dang useful. I'm pretty happy about that. So that's the biggest thing that I'm liking. And look, I can even do with Thrive here a card. So Thrive works with Gmail. So if I wanted to make a new client card info, I could just boom, make a new client from here. So these are things to automate it. These are things I haven't been doing up until now, and I'm now going to start implementing them. So I might do a follow-up video on this, on like showing you how filled out my board is and how much easier things are for me. But I'm really looking forward to doing this, because in the past couple of months I've gotten busy enough that project management has become an issue of mine and is now my bottleneck. So I feel like I'm constantly running around putting out fires, and there's a fire off in the distance or behind me, and it just grows and grows and grows, and there's no one there, and there's no project list to say, hey, there's a fire over here that's getting worse, and by the time I see it, the house can be burned down. And we don't want to lose a client or have a client upset because you just weren't paying attention to where you needed to be in the job. Because a lot of this stuff is literally just like, hey, it'll take you 20 minutes to slice it and print it, and then 5-10 minutes to look at it and make sure it's good, and then if it fails, another 3 to 5 minutes to reslice it, make some changes. So it's like sometimes it's just 30 minutes to an hour's worth of work, but I'm now in a storefront. I got people walking in every day, checking things out, so I get distracted really easily, and I get off track, and I need something to get me back on track, and a good project list should be that thing. So I'm probably either going to make a new one, or I'll wipe this one out and start fresh again so that I can do this. Just as a reminder, I've been in business 4 or 5 years, so this is long overdue. Another thing that I needed help with was like taxes and stuff, so I brought someone in to help me out with that. I'll probably do a specific video just on that, because I had no idea what I was doing. I still have very little idea what I was doing, and I think I might even do that video with Bill so that he can help explain it and talk about where I'm going, and maybe I shouldn't for reasons that I might not discuss. I don't know. It's one of these things to where like the government wants their money, and the government can watch this video, and if I say things and I did something wrong and I file it wrong, I don't want to get held accountable for that. So I do want to release a video on what you should be doing. I just won't talk about what I did in the past, because I probably didn't do it right, and I don't want to get in trouble for that. I hope I don't. I don't think I will. I think I'm small enough that even if I did do something wrong, fines or fees or the hammer won't come down as hard on me. But Bill, my friend and person who's going to help me out with the taxes, believes we've got a way forward that's legal and safe and everything, and I haven't been doing anything illegal to my knowledge, and definitely not intentionally or anything like that. I just didn't know all the steps, and that's the problem here, is if you are getting busy and you're like, hey, I want to do this, then yeah, what is it? If you want to start a business, then you want to know how to do it right. And if you've got no idea, I hope I can potentially help with that. So definitely stay tuned to the future videos. We'll get there. I know my videos are long-winded, and I apologize, but I hope that was useful, because to me, this could be one of the most useful things I've done for my business in a long time. And if you are having trouble with order tracking, you could potentially do that. If you're curious on Thrive and wanting to look that up, Thrive is really useful. They've been a great asset to me. I appreciate the work they do. They have, what was it? You can get a free demo so you could try it out for a little bit. I'm trying to see. I don't remember if they have pricing on here. I honestly don't know the current pricing. I'm on an old legacy plan because I had signed up like 3 years ago, and they've now added so much more to it that they're charging just a little bit more than what I was paying. But I'm thinking you would be in the $200, $250 a month range. Maybe $350 or something if you get... Oh, here's a pricing. Let's see what they say. Get my price. Okay, yeah, so they want to custom build it for you. So there might be custom pricing. Oh, here's a... yeah, so they want to get you a price. But this is what I'm on, is the +2, so I've got 2 users. I don't think I have this text turned on. And I don't have that turned on. So I've got an old plan that doesn't include those. I've got a plan that... yeah, I don't have any of those either. But I have this, and I have like most everything else. So this is their new basic plan, which is going to come with a little bit more. And then they do other things. They can literally post for you on social media. So if you're not a social media guy and you want someone else to do it, they could potentially do it. Social boosting, all this other stuff. One neat thing I did like about it that I want to mention is down here at online presence, there's a listing management. And what's cool here is they automatically put my information on all of these different things. So I didn't have to go to the Apple page, I didn't have to go to Google or Yellow Pages or whatever the heck any of the rest of this is. They already put my listing out there. And I tell you what, I do occasionally get people coming from Yelp and coming from Local Stack. I don't know about Uber, but yeah, you know, for whatever reason, if someone wanted to Uber to this location, you know, it'll be in their maps. So that's pretty cool. I like that they do that, and they update this regularly. So like when I changed my address to my new address, boom, it updated all of these. I mean, if you're gonna do that yourself, how long would it take you just to be like, okay, I've moved addresses, now I need to change my Yellow Page address, I need to change my Google address, I need to change my Apple address, I need to change my Yelp address, my, you know, all of this if you want to be in anything else, you know, OpenDI, whatever. You know, and I'd probably say 80% of this isn't necessary, but the big ones, Yellow Pages, Google, Apple, Yahoo, Yelp, those are... Nextdoor is a good one. I've gotten quite a few businesses from Nextdoors. Those are ones you're going to want to be on. So at least hit the top 5 there. That'll be worth it. Thrive is also really good about taking criticism, or not criticism, but like advice on how to update. So I've been begging them to get this project thing figured out, and they have a project deal. They just didn't implement it right. Like, it has tags and stuff, but it needs to be a Trello board. And I was like, man, just come on, make it a Trello board. So we'll see. But the fact that it can at least work with a Trello board is great. I mean, what I eventually want is a payment processor, an invoicer, and a board like this all in one, which MakerOS is there, but one of my biggest drawbacks to MakerOS is the prices of Stripe. Stripe is charging 4% processing fees and 80 cents a transaction. At Thrive, through ThrivePay, I'm paying 2.8 and 10 cents a transaction. So they're getting 70 cents less than MakerOS. So that's pretty steep on their processors. To MakerOS, if you're watching this, I hope that you can get other payment processors, since you're using a payment processor and you don't have one that's, you know, in-house yourself. Find other ones. I mean, Braintree, PayPal is cheaper than what you're using right now. Literally by a whole cent, like 50 cents a transaction. Now maybe that's what they're charging on top, so that Stripe is kicking back, you know, a cent, half a cent to MakerOS. I don't blame them for that. That's, you know, genius as far as getting a little bit of back-end transactions from people. If you get a company that's doing $100,000 a year and you get 1%, you're gonna make $1,000 just off of transactions off of them, and you did nothing but let them do business. So, you know, smart business move. But for the little guy, I'd like to keep every dollar and cent I can. And when I get $1,000 transaction, I'd like my $10. So that's, you know, that's how I feel about it at the moment. But they've got something good. It's really close. There's a couple things more that I won't rail on about that I think they should change or update or make easier. So I hope they keep updating it. They have been over the years. I talked with Mike, Mike McCurry, if I probably said that wrong. Sorry, man. He's been an awesome dude to talk with, super friendly, very helpful, willing to work with me. And, you know, if I understand right, he's one of the either founders or owners of the company and has been there a long time. So good job at MakerOS. I'm not here to shit on that company at all. I'm just trying to give y'all good tools to use to help you build your business. and to see where I've potentially not done as well. But yeah, I've got more stuff to talk about, more videos to make, so I'll be making more. But keep on doing the good work. Yeah, that'll be all. I've got something else I want to talk about, but I'm gonna make a second video, so just look out for that one to be posted after this one. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. If you're a 3D print shop and you're interested in doing this, good for you, and I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and we'll talk to y'all later.